Welcome to BLUESHELLED, the show where something I review gets either a tasty leaf snack or a bamboo stick shoved up its rear end. It's about time we finally reviewed a full-length movie on this channel. But this isn't going to be a blockbuster you'd see advertised on bus stops and train stations. This is a true underground film. And when I say underground, I mean it probably should be buried underground. Animated films are the rage, and in the 21st century we've received some of the most impressive. For example, take the 2007 Pixar masterpiece Ratatouille, a film about a rat with a passion for cooking despite the world viewing him rather negatively. After all, the guy is a rat, at least he's not a snake. Ratatouille, however, is like... I don't even think I need to explain, to be honest. It should be at least au fait as to what looks a little bit off about this film. It's like a nightmare about a game of mousetrap. Kill me. Whilst that is fresh in mind, let's whiz over to Kung Fu Panda, another impressive film, this time by DreamWorks in 2008. It's about a notably rotund panda who becomes skilled in the Chinese martial art of Kung Fu, a film with flashy action scenes and lots of personality. Compare that to the animated film that came out a year after. It may seem hard to find a film with the exact same quality of Ratatouille, and perhaps maybe even more shocking, mind you, but when there's a will, there's a way, and this way is of the panda, also known in some regions as the Prodigy. Believe it or not, I actually watched this movie at around the age of 10 or maybe 11. I have not a clue how my family managed to get a copy of it at the time, but looking at the price on Amazon being £1.75, I can't hand on heart say this is the most inaccessible movie in the world in terms of price. Which is a shame because now having watched the full thing, it should be. I might as well say, I don't have the DVD anymore. I'm not that upset about it. I personally thought Garfield and Friends was a far more worthwhile experience myself. This movie was directed by Robert D. Hanna, and after searching the guy up, I have found both a Brendan Fraser film as well as a Madagascar ripoff in his filmography, so it's fair to say the pieces are putting themselves together, and the jigsaw puzzle doesn't look particularly pretty. This thing, apparently, came from the artists and animators of Shrek. Yes, as we can see, the animation quality is almost on par. What do you actually mean by the artists and animators of Shrek? Like what? Was there any genuine relation between the Panda crew and the Shrek crew? Maybe a member of the Panda crew's brother-in-law was the second cousin of the postman who delivered letters to a member of the Shrek crew's granddad's nephew's brother? I don't know. We'll just have to see, won't we? Alright, this is the part of the video where I have to explain the plot of whatever I'm reviewing, but with a twist. I have to do it in under a minute. So here we go, the plot of Way of the Panda in under 60 seconds. My time starts now. KG is a young girl training under the influence of a panda. Well, judging by her haphazard moves, she's certainly under some influence. Her borderline epileptic behavior results in some awkward fights once the Prince of China, I suppose, who I can only assume from the backdrop, is abruptly kidnapped during a playful game of tag. However, KG and the panda are able to Tony Hawk their way to a castle hosted by the Dragon King, a villain who rules over the land with an iron fist and a boring personality. Since the prince's father is kinda the big boy in charge of the kingdom or whatever, he's not very pleased. But after realizing that KG and the panda are actually just as useful as they are annoying, the duo are granted trust to take down the Dragon King, traversing every level of the castle where somehow the enemies look less intimidating than the protagonists, and annoy the Dragon King to the point where he jumps out of a window to escape their obnoxious radiance. Mind you, I'm not saying I wouldn't either. And they all lived happily ever after. Yes, even the villains. You had one job, guys. Here we go, time to put this thing on. Oh, that's right. My TV doesn't even work. Hold on. When was this movie made again? 2010? This looks like a cheap game for the PlayStation 2. I'm fairly certain visual capabilities were far beyond what's being offered here. You're joking. The panda's name is the Master. At least have the creativity in mind to call him something like Pandemonium. Can this man even spin a stick properly? That audio editing is something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just repeated the same voice clip. You're not fooling us. We can tell it's the same voice clip.
Yeah. You are quite the prodigy.
Boy, you sound like your voice was badly pitch shifted down in Audacity. It's got that compressed audio strain and it sounds like you're gargling on your own bamboo flavored vomit. It's either spit or swallow. Don't keep it in, mate.
KG, don't cry. I promised I would look after you.
Was that your flute? Singing into my window?
Yes, that was me, Xi Tao. But they call me KG.
Nice to meet you. I'm Po.
Po? You mean like the name of the panda from Kung Fu Panda? The film that this film shamefully rips off and you couldn't be bothered using a new name, so you took the name Po from the panda in Kung Fu Panda, but then thought, oh, we can't possibly give it to our panda here from Way of the Panda. That would make it too obvious that we're ripping ideas from Kung Fu Panda, so we'll give it to another character from Way of the Panda. And hopefully, no one notices. Well, I'm sad to say, Mr. Robert D. Hanna, you've been exposed. In case you haven't quite noticed yet, the animation in this movie is awkward. It's so stiff and lifeless. If I were pushed for another adjective, I might even suggest that the landscape is empty. This wouldn't even be decent back in the early 2000s. He can't see you, he's facing downwards, you mong. Oh, what the f? This movie is full of surprises. It's also full of the most terrifying smiles I've ever seen in an animated film. Their visual aesthetic is so disturbing, they make Ghost BC look like the Spice Girls.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ah, I love me some shoegaze. Ah! The elves of the 10th dimension have been summoned from their eternal slumber! It's amazing. You can hear snare drums and cymbals in the song, and yet Master is able to produce them not only with a set of completely different drums, but also whilst not making any form of contact with them whatsoever. Weirdly, these guys aren't even the scariest looking people in the room.
Prince Paul, what on earth do you think you are doing?
Father, I was just...
Silence! This senseless carousing is beneath you. Come back to the palace immediately.
This is the final battle!
Huh, what a party pooper.
Hey! Hey, you!
You're an all-star.
Ha! No!
No, not Prince Po! Oh, the travesty! To skip a whole bunch of awkward clutter, Prince Po is captured by the Mortal Kombat Squad, and Daenerys Targaryen, Mother of Dragons, comes down to beat the pulp out of KG over here, who engages in a very awkwardly choreographed fight scene that ends with our protagonist falling victim to a mere poke. No joke. One poke. That should be a slogan. But hey, the bad girl left her handbag behind. That's convenient.
I only wish I could help him.
Well, may you face your wishes.
How can I do anything to save him? I'm just a girl.
With a heart as big as yours, there is no limit to what you can accomplish.
I don't feel very big right now.
She doesn't feel big. Her name is literally KG.
Come outside, Panda, and face me.
Yeah!
Give me back my perfume, or you will surely regret taking my precious things.
Whoa. Didn't know you were into vaping.
Little minx, those are my toys.
Why do those characters always change to accent randomly? This fight scene is where some of the real horrors of this film's animation really begin to show. Slapstick moments that don't make any sense when you suspend your disbelief.
Ow, ow.
You'd have to be rock solid stoned on acid to see any sensibility in this scene. Whoa, hold up. This panda eats the skin of a watermelon. You filthy animal. And so the fight continues. To cut it all short, they win, and because the strength potion and that perfume was so useful, they decide to search for more performance-enhancing drugs further off. But our main concern with this film is elsewhere.
Ow, ow, I think I got a rock in my butt.
Oh, goodness me, I'm gonna need another cold shower. Oh, they've already hit a dead end. Archers surrounding them from all sides. But of course, your boy Master over here can't help but slide in a cheeky joke every now and then.
You brought your brothers, huh? Well, I think one of you is already too much. Your mama gotta know when to quit.
Oh, my apologies. I thought there was a joke coming. Oh, cool. A Powerball fired from your hands. That makes no sense. No sense at all. And look at this. It doesn't even obliterate the archers. It just merely shakes the bamboo. So not only have you introduced this random ability out of nowhere, it's also failed to be as effective as the build-up suggested it was. Listen to the music during this fight scene. It 100% does not suit what is going on.
Huh?
Oh look! Using the magic of editing, we've skipped past a decent chunk of the movie and randomly reached a scene involving a haunted house and some spooky ghosts.
Are we doing the right thing out here?
Well, what does your heart tell you?
Oh, come on! Next this guy will be telling us that there's some sort of spirit within you.
The spirit of your father is within you.
Oh, there we go. Flippin' Confucius at it again.
Hey man, sheesh. What's your problem, man? Gosh, take it easy.
Why is he called the Dragon King?
Because the writers couldn't come up with a more creative name in 2010. Can I just say, this movie doesn't just have slow animation, everything about it is slow. It all drags on for so long, and every cringeworthy fumble from the master is painful to watch.
What? Take it easy. I meant to do that.
The only vaguely interesting fight scene is probably against this giant stone statue with a hammer, like Thor's angry uncle. And even then it isn't really that good. The way that the master initiates the battle is so stupid. He reads a sign that says, "Beware those who utter these words," and because he's a bit thick, he goes on to utter those words. This scene is like a low-budget Shadow of the Colossus kind of thing. Get up on its back and damage the weak spot, then it falls. It's even got the little bit of steam coming out the back of his head.
You fools.
Ah yes, here we have the Dragon King. Dark shadows, fire on either side, cape, horns on helmet. We have truly got ourselves one idiosyncratic villain indeed. I bet he's the kind of person to say, "You fools! Must I do everything myself?" This dude gets pinned to a wall, this dude gets flung at a wall, and the princess is a little bit blazed.
You're such the princess.
Flippin' what? It doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense, man.
You're such the princess.
Yeah!
This movie is so full of terrible one-liners that don't even have an oolong of sensibility. Whatever that means, we get the Bowser fight from Super Mario 64, as the princess gets flailed around, flung at some doors, and in some weird-as way just has her hair stuck in between them. Just princess things.
Be careful, you don't want any more split ends.
You fools. Must I do everything myself?
Well, you definitely weren't in charge of your name, design, or dialogue, you generic excuse for a main villain. This part of the movie gets so cliched, you wouldn't even be surprised to see a Matrix parody happen right after it.
Oh no, that's not good. I'm going to make hamburger out of you.
Oh yeah? Does that come with fries?
So KG has some lipstick that can make you breathe fire. She sets the Dragon King ablaze, leaving him to do some sort of weird polka dance. Okay, long story short, everyone dies. This movie has me confused. Just very confused. Certainly there have been low quality rip-off movies before, but you do constantly wonder over the course of the film whether the creators of Shrek were even involved.
Yes!
You did it!
Shrek had well-timed and tasteful humor, very seamless animation, non-cardboard characters, a meaningful message, and a plot that could be followed without falling asleep. Way of the Panda doesn't even tick a single one of those boxes. You'd think there'd at least be something positive about this movie, but all jokes aside, it says flimsily produced as a gingerbread house pieced together on the Wipeout course. I might have already hinted at what rating this thing's gonna get, but look, it's not like you wouldn't have known from the start of the video anyways, so.
My fingertips are holding onto the cracks in our foundation.
Come on, you know what the result is gonna be. Way of the Panda, proving that some things just aren't sacred. I am MasterJakeStudios, and I promote an end to my life.